Hello everyone, Michelle here from the Creative Cove. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I thought we could play with some tarot cards. I was at the thrift shop. I go in there at least once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, and I look around for goodies. And this time I found a whack load of cards. So these are these big tarot cards. I don't even know if it was a full set. There doesn't seem to be too many here. Not that I know much about tarot cards, but I thought they were perfect size to play with. And then I also found these cards. I thought they were hilarious for 50 cents. But I thought these are kind of nice too. They've got these gold and silver edges to them. And I thought they could be fun to decorate on as well. So we'll start with the tarot cards. I haven't done any in these size yet because I was obsessed with the tarot cards. I was having so much fun with them. And I've come up with some ideas on how I do clusters on them, I guess you could say, or I just decorate them. I just have fun decorating them. So in these cases, I was thinking of maybe doing like a little book, a little flip through book kind of thing. Let me get the tag ones out of the way and the ones I haven't hole punched. So I did things like this where I thought this would be kind of cute to build a little journal by putting rings through here. And then I thought, no, they kind of look kind of nice with ribbon going through here instead. And I decorate both sides, a little more simplified on the back so you have journaling room. And then I put tags and I put little doohickeys on them, little, what are they called, charms. And I just had so much fun playing with these. So there's a couple here that I did. I used up my quickie sketches. And I use up kind of these labels and scrap papers. Here's one of my digital kits that I cut up. I've got to start using my own digital kits. I haven't used many of mine. Here's another one that's just a plain journaling card. You could put a tab at the top. Another plain one. And one with a string at the top. So just really lots of fun. And then I had some labels, some cardstock that I thought I would turn into tags, and completely off while I had my scraps on, I did some tags. So we're not going to do tags today, but I just wanted to show you once you've got your stuff out, you can pretty much multi-build a bunch of different things. So I'll move the tags out of the way because I do want to focus on the cards today, the tarot cards, which I think turned out really fun. So let's start some. So I'm going to start with the tarot card here, and I think I paid 50 cents for the pack. Again, I don't think it was a full pack. I think it was just kind of a few pieces thrown in. And I'm just going to rip up some papers here and kind of use maybe something I've already got ripped. So basically it's just like a collage. So it's like a craft along with me kind of class today. And grab your stuff and see where it takes us. So with these tarot cards, I really like the kind of greeny brown exterior that it had, the border. So I like to leave that. And I'm trying to get in the habit of using my ruler here to rip for these. So I'm just using a regular glue stick and I'm just throwing down papers here, whatever scraps I had on my desk. So I'll go to the next one. And I'm just going to basically fill these cards. But I like to use some sketches or ephemera that I have already made. You know, you can pull out of your stash all the goodies you have and use them up. So because of the quickie sketch videos that I do, I tend to have a lot of sketches kicking around. And I got some stickers and stuff lately from your creative studios that I did a video on, and so I'm going to throw some of those in there. I pulled out some butterflies and some words because I was just in such a crafty mood the other day. I felt like just getting back to basics and crafting again, you know. Sometimes your life gets so busy and you just don't have the time to be doing the things that you used to do. And I really just like to sit and cut and glue paper. Just mind-numbing stuff where I don't have to think about too much. I don't have to worry about it being perfect or anything, just having fun and building up like stashes of ephemera so that when you go to build a journal, you've got all these wonderful things to add into it. So just something simple like this is a really nice little thing to have in your stash ready to go. And like I said, you just kind of start getting into different things. So then I moved on to those, what are they called? Tags. So here's one of my quickie sketches that we've done together. So I'm just going to pull that off and stick it down. And then, like I said, I pulled out some words and I put some stickers in here like this. And I'm just going to add to it. So no rhyme or reason, no theme for me on today. Like, I don't even know what this says. So it's just a question of textures and adding interesting elements to your little clusters here. So I'm not overly concerned about what the message is on these. I just want to add the textures and the wording and the paper and just have fun. So I think that's even enough for that. Maybe something vertical up here. Sorry, horizontal. Oh, and I pulled out butterflies too, because I have them in my stash and I always forget to use them. And I really like the orange. It's maybe on the next one. I don't know if that's in view or not. Something like these. Let's do Du Fleur. I just think I might cut that a little straighter. There we go. These little stickers are so handy. They add instant interest to any kind of cluster. And like I said, even if the subject matter doesn't match, it's still fun to do. So there's another one done, and I just love this border. So then I like the vintage look, so I am going to ink it up a little bit. Not too much, but tone down any spots that might be a little too vibrant for my taste. And then I flip it over and I do the other side. And the other side I tend to use, say, a bigger piece of paper. I'll move this out of the way for a second. Oops, I have way too much on my desk again. A bigger piece of paper and something more plain so that there's more journaling room. Because it's nice to have somewhere to write or stick something on without modifying the work you've done. So I'm going to put that there. That went crooked for some reason. So I'll take that off. And then I try to line it up as best I can. Trying to stay in view here as best I can and go from this side. Let's see if I've gotten close. Same with this. Kind of just eyeball it real quick and then glue this down and add a few more papers to the back. I just really enjoyed making these last night. I kept going and going, then I looked at my clock and it was 11:30 and I was like, okay, time to go to bed. And a great way to use up scraps. Like a really good way to use up scraps. Which is always a bonus. Let's throw that on there. And then I'm just going to chop it for the border. Yeah, I really like that. So I tend to leave this as open as much as possible so that there's room to write or glue something down. So for this one, maybe we'll do the 2-hole punch and put the ribbon through. So use my gator here, my good old gator. And I think I will line them up with the others in case I do decide to make a book. Let's grab another one here just so they line up. Let's grab this one. And all I do is I put it over top. You can measure it, but I just line it up this way and poke a hole through. And then I found these what are they called? Hole reinforcers. I got these from the local Business Depot. They were kind of expensive. I was surprised how expensive they were. But I've always wanted them, and I thought they'd come in pretty handy for this kind of application. So I've had them in my stash for a little while, and now I'm using them, finally. And then, of course, I'm going to tone those down because they're a bit white. Now I have that. So we can put some ribbon through it. Here's my ribbon. I have this dollar store ribbon. This is my go-to. I really like this one. But you can use anything. You can use thread, or you can use these for to put the rings through to create a journal. Just get yourself some. You could probably use keychain holder. You know, the keychain bit that opens up to slide keys on. You could probably use one of those, or giant jump rings from a jewelry shop, or secondhand jewelry. So just feed that through. I'm going to take a little Fabri-Tac here and throw some on. So leave that there for a second because I know I'm going to need it again. And I just lay this flat. And I'll probably cut this one a little shorter. Sorry for the shadow. And the source of light is on my left-hand side here. Throw a little more down. And then fold this over. Give that a second to dry. And there's that one, which is kind of cute. So let's do another one while that's drying, and maybe we'll do a thing on the side that we can put some jewelry through. All right, let's just start slapping her down. I love doing this stuff in the evening, just kind of relaxing, but I haven't had a chance to do it, much of it lately. And if I find I don't get to be creative or do the things I really want to do, I go a little stir crazy. My husband can vouch for that. Tone it down, and then I will go and rip this off now. You could go right to the end of the card, of course. I just thought this border was really pretty, so I wanted to use it. And you can see I'm a messy gluer. But if you glued the back of the piece of paper, as opposed to throwing glue down on the board, it would stay neater, but it all dries, so it doesn't bother me. Let's see what else I've got here. So this white piece right across here would be good. Where'd my ruler go? See, I gotta put it on my left-hand side. So if you glued the paper, this would stay neater, but I just slap the glue down. And if it's sticky all around, I know it's going to dry anyway, so it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't bother me. Do another thin piece here. I like to play with the vertical and horizontal lines, just for some interest. You could put things on an angle. You can work with circles, all kinds of goodies. No wrong or right. Just having fun gluing stuff down. What else have I got for images to put down? I've got some mushrooms. Got my stash out here. I have these too. I pulled out because I thought they might be fun to add to the tag. Maybe we'll use that one. And they're just pressed flowers that I did years ago. And some of them are laminated. I actually think all these ones, this is my laminated stash. And put on watercolor paper. And they're just things from my garden. I really like to add these occasionally, and I've forgotten all about them. There's another one, the buttercup, so pretty. So I thought maybe we could use some of these sketches we've done together. This is the Wild American Sketch Collection. So these will be on my Etsy store as well, but these are the originals. So something like that. I think these are a little too conflicting with that flower though, so I think I'm going to simplify it with just a simple sketch. And these are also on my Etsy store, these little flowers that we did on labels. I did a video on how to do them, because see how easy they are to use later. I mean, I think I did that video 6 months ago, and I'm just using up my goodies now. So let's do a tab. So I'll just use one of the cards, and you know what I think I'll do is cover the card first. It might be a little easier. I'm trying to cover it after. So I'm just going to give myself a generous amount of glue here. Glue a piece of paper on it. Leave the edge of this one just for fun. Cut this off. So what journals are you guys working on? You coming into summer or going into winter, depending where you are in the world? And what kind of seasonal inspirations do you find you get when you're crafting? There's something about spring for me that makes me very happy. Happy to see the sun again. Though we do have the sun a lot here in Ontario through the winter. We just unfortunately get the cold and the snow. Though I don't think I could live without snow. I couldn't move to a place where I didn't get any snow. I don't know if I can handle that. All right, so I'm going to make a tab up here. So I need a heavier duty glue. Let's see if this stuff's going to work today. It's getting pretty gooey. So I'm just going to glue this. Oh yeah, that's gooey. Yum. Glue this. Ooh. And ooh, come on. And put some glue on here if I can, if it will let me. Get real gooey there. And then I'm going to put one down where I want it. Like that. And the other one on top. And then I'm just going to... Do I have a little doohickey? I do. I'm just going to leave this to dry for a second. Now you could sew these too. That would be really pretty. I was going to sew a few of them myself, but I was too lazy to get my sewing machine out last night. But sewing down the seams like this would be really fun. So I'm going to let that dry for a second. I think we'll find some more labels here to put on. Maybe a couple of words. These beautiful already. I don't think I have the word tulip. Oh, flowers. Flowers will work. So there it is. Put that on there. As the messages that I've typed, that I printed out, I think are too big. Yeah, a little too overwhelming. This is kind of fun. Something like that. So let's play with that while that's drying. Something like this. Cut this a little smaller. So I'm not even concerned about the message or you'll see some of my other ones there have random messages on them and random kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Images. They don't match. So I have like moons and flowers and all kinds of stuff on one page. So I'm going to punch a hole through there. And then I gotta find my, ooh, found them. Found them! My little, I'm looking for these forever. So now I finally get to use them. Put one of these in, just to help reinforce it. And then we'll close that up with these big old gaiters. If I remember how to use them. There we go. I think that's in. And then our flower can move, right? I think. Or does it stay still? Oh, it moves a little bit. But I kind of like it where it is anyways. And then I want to do the back. So we'll start gluing on the back. And these make really cute. Like I said, you can make a book with them. You can collect a bunch of them and use them for tags. So they're ready to use. And they were super cheap. Like the tarot cards, recycled tarot cards were dirt cheap. 50 cents, I'm pretty sure I paid. So you just go into your thrift section, into kind of a paper section or magazine section, or however they decide to advertise their stuff. You can find all kinds of treasures like this and reuse them, which I love doing. And one more piece here. What else have I got? This guy's really pretty. Sorry, I'm trying to avoid the shadow. There we go. That side's done. Okay, that's done. So let's do the accessory that goes through here. So I did take some things out. So just give me 1 second to tidy up here. I do want to vintage this before I forget. Gonna tone it all down. And what I do like about these tarot cards too is the paper's, the cardstock's really thick. Like it's really sturdy, right? So it will last a long time. It makes a nice journaling card. So it did bring out what I was using earlier, and you need a few tools and a few little goodies. So I want to do a charm on this one. So I have some jump rings. I have some eye pins here. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but these I have to buy brand new. So I usually break bracelets and necklaces apart from the thrift shop and reuse the beads. That's where most of these came from. Some of the charms are secondhand, some of them are new, and the jump rings are new. I buy those. I find reusing the old ones makes them weak, so I like to buy new ones, and they're cheap. So these big jump rings here were 99 cents, and I think there's like 20 in here. So anywho, I thought we would do a little accessory, so a little dangle, so to speak. So I'm just going to thread on a few beads here that I like. Something pretty simple, nothing too elaborate. And maybe a little one out of this pack. This one's cute here with a little texture on it. So these are, again, all recycled costume jewelry that I just pull apart and put in a little baggie. And I do dabble in jewelry making as well. I teach it with my seniors. I love teaching my seniors, and their hand-eye coordination stays more focused when they play with stuff like this on a regular basis, and they seem to really enjoy it. So we do bracelets, we do journaling cards like this, and I teach them how to make these little things. Okay, so I bend it over on a 45. Sorry, I guess I should have showed you that. And then I'm going to take these pliers. They're not proper ruling pliers, but it's what I've got. And I'm going to roll this back on itself. So hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you saw that or not. And you make it a loop. And I have another loop at the bottom. So some of the pins you can buy have a straight where the bead will just sit on the bottom, and some have a loop. And I want the loop because I think I'm going to do the bee. The bee's so cute. I was torn between the bee and the tree, but I think I'm going to do the bee. It's blingy. It's fun. I got glue all over my fingers. So now we're going to attach that. So in order to do that, we need a jump ring. So you need a pair of pliers. These are not jewelry pliers either. See how they have the teeth? You don't want to use that with jewelry because it mars the metals and things. But like I said, these are just mostly secondhand things that I like to recycle. And I think I have a video on how I make dangles that will show you more step by step. So I bend that open. So instead of pulling it apart, I rotate it sideways. And I'll put that in there. And then I'll add my little bee. Put that in there. And then I will, rotate that closed. So you never want to pull them apart. You want to rotate to spread them. Just make sure that's closed. Nope, that's not closed. Let's do that again. I'm just going to squeeze it together a little. So if you rotate them open like that, they should line up closed really well after that. So there's my bee. Now I'm going to put a bigger jump ring in because I need to make sure, and this might not even be big enough, but I need to make sure that, so I'm going to go like this and spread them open. I need to make sure that it can fit through this card. Oops. So you can attach the bee if you want, because it's got a loop down here, which I think I will do. And then make sure it can fit through here. That it's deep enough. And close it up. So there we go, there's our little dangle. I think he's so cute. Just something fun out of recycled goods. You have to buy a few little pieces, but like I said, I mean, these will last you quite a while. And you can find good prices on that. So here's the two that we made. I think they're really cute. Just a fun way to use up scraps and have fun with recycled goods. So I think we have time to maybe do a little one. Let's do a little one, why not? The video's long. You can fast forward me. Oh, I gotta use up these cat cards though. They're hilarious. They're so funny. Cats and hats. The boy and the girl. So cute. But why not? So we can make little smaller ones. Now these are a little thinner. They're not quite as strong. So you could glue two together, I suppose. But I think we're good leaving it like that. Put this stuff aside. And let's just repeat the process. I'm going to leave the gold edge. I really like the gold edge. Now these are a little smaller, so they might move a little faster. But let's see where it takes us. Ruler. Ah, put it to the wrong side. And these are bigger scraps, which I don't really want to use big scraps. These little scraps here. And let's see what we want to put on this one for decoration. And maybe something like this orangey color. And like I said, you could mass make these. Make a whack load of these. And just keep gluing your scraps that you have in your hand down to the next piece. That would move even faster. Everybody's got their own process. Their own method. It's kind of fun to watch people craft like that to see what they come up with and their method of doing things. Let's see, this one got a little crooked. gonna flip this one over. Glue these corners down. I always miss the corners. And put this one here maybe. I don't like that piece. What else have I got kicking around here? Piece. Bit big. So we'll use it on this one. So this one has no border, so I'm going to go right to the edge and either create my own border with the white, which I think I'll do, or go straight to the edge with it. I think this is part of their stickers, so I'll use that up. Again, leaving myself that little border, because that's the look I like. Ruler. Oops. Oop, that's not good. Need it even. Okay, and put a sticker on there maybe. Let's see what we can grab. It's too big. This is bugging me. Let's try this way. And we'll rip it off here. There we go, that's better. Okay, a little bit more here. I'm gonna rip up some of these. And the lettering I really like too. I like to add the lettering. From the papers or the book pages. I love the texture of that sort of thing. And you can do something as simple as cover the whole page in one sheet. Like I said, the back you can make a lot plainer for journaling. Kind of just tear it off where you think it lines up. I'll just leave that one plain. And then we can add to it, so kind of like this one. And maybe I'll use the gold side. So we can add something as simple as this to it. It will show up nicely on there. So maybe we'll do that. We'll trim this down. And it's laminated, so it's sealed on the edges. Just want to make sure it fits in that card. Go a little shorter here. Not even straight? Probably not. And then I'll put a hole punch and use those pins that I had, that I used the other day. These guys, these little split pins. Get a hole punch going. So actually, maybe I'll use a split pin down here. Let's use a split pin for here, so a small hole punch here. Make sure I line it up right. Just to help hold that plastic in place. Let's use that, and then maybe a bigger hole at the top so we can use another charm. This time I'll use the tree that I wanted to use. That will hold the plastic in place. So while we do the rest. So I kind of like the look of the layer. So if we put a hole through, we won't be able to move this, which I think is okay because this looks really pretty. So I'm going to do a bigger hole. I think. Or, no, I did the same size, so flip it over and do a bigger hole. Make sure I got my plastic card where I want it. And we'll put one of these guys in. And these were buttercups that grew on the side of the road that I picked and just put in my flower press. And I have shown a video on how to make a flower press and how to press flowers. I've shown you a video on how to preserve, like how to laminate them, and also how to use a varnish on them, which is a really fun way to preserve flowers without plastic. So if I can remember, I will try and link that for you, but I am notorious. The thing is, I film videos and then I upload them a little bit later. I don't upload them right away. So I forget what I promise in my videos when they're uploading. Okay, so this has just the end. So what we'll need a charm that has 2, and I don't think, oh, the elephant goes right through like a pin. So this has to dangle. So what we're gonna need to do is cut this. I don't know if these will cut through this metal. Oh, it did. And create the loop. So I'm just going to bend it on a 45. Probably that much. Need to make sure I have enough to roll my loop, depending how thick your pliers are to roll. You basically just want to close it. Not the best roll I've ever done. There. Okay, so now we have something to attach our tree to. So the tree, I like the moon too. The moon's kind of cute, but we'll do the tree. Okay, still need this. So now we can drop our beads on. So maybe we'll do this. White. Maybe we'll just do white. These little shells came off a bracelet. I thought they were kind of cute. So no bling on this one. Just more of a neutral tone. And maybe just a tiny little ball. So again, all off little bracelets and necklaces or whatever, and I just put them in little baggies. And you'll be surprised how many beads and bits and pieces you can use off just a few secondhand bracelets or necklaces. Something like that. Something that simple. Okay, so I'm going to do the 45 again. And then I'm going to cut this a little shorter because I don't need that much wire. And then I'm going to roll because I got to put the jump ring in. So I'm going to take my pliers and roll. So I roll it. So now I have 2 loops at either end. So now I can take a jump ring and open her up. So I'm going to split it apart. Set the bottom. And put my tree on. And then close her up. Oops. Close her up. And then I'm going to take the bigger jump rings because it's got to be wide enough to be able to fit through this and the width of where you put your hole in your little journaling card. So this is pretty tight. So see, I put the hole too far back. So I need a bigger jump ring. See how it won't fit through there? I don't think anyways. Let's see. Yeah, it's too wide. So I've made it too wide, but that's okay. So you can either take this apart and move it over, which I think maybe we'll do. Let's try it. Pull this out. So, or just leave this and maybe tie something through and we'll use it on this one. Let's do that. I'll leave this and then you can tie, say, a piece of ribbon through here. So even when you make boo-boos like that, you can still have fun with them. It's not the end of the world if you screw up. And trust me, I know that because I screw up a lot. And that's how you learn, right? So now in my head, I know, okay, pay attention to what you're doing. But I'll just put a piece of ribbon through this. Just for fun. Let's do this way. Or you could put a paper clip through here. So now you can have a little side piece on the side here. So when you put it, this will stick out of your journal. So everything is salvageable. Don't have to worry too much about making boo-boos in this line of art because everything is new and easy to fix. Not a big deal. So there, we'll do that for that one. And let's do something else for this one. So I have more of these. We could use these. Maybe we'll just do a drawing on this one and add, I think this drawing's too big. So this is one of my little digital kits that I printed because I thought I should probably use some of my own artwork. This might be a little too big for this page. Yeah, it kind of covers the whole page, doesn't it? Be fun for the back. I'll just glue it on there now that I cut it out, but that won't be the front. I just kind of want to use it. Okay, so for this side, let's go back to one of these. Like this. Fern. Thing is, this is pretty dark. So I want to use something bright. It's already got pinches in it. I think I want to lighten up this background and add, or maybe this one right here because it's white. That's kind of cute. I still feel like this is too dark. So let me lighten that up first. I'll put my jump ring back in there so I don't lose it. Let's see if I can just lighten that up a wee bit. Just so it's not so, I find it a little too dark for my taste. Ruler, ruler. Just add a little bit of brightness to it. Okay, let's try this. Especially if we're just going to go with laminated. I'm going to go this side, actually. Dang it. Pay attention. There we go. And then maybe this piece across here. And then we'll tone it down. Okay. Back to these. So we already did one of those. Where'd that fern one go? I kind of like the fern or the little pink flower. That's kind of cute. A little vintage vibe to it. Let's do that. So I'm going to repeat the process here by cutting this down. So don't need it quite so big. Yeah, that's kind of cute. And put a word right here. What should we put? What should we put? Just having looked through my words here, sorry. No, too dark again. Let's use the word beautiful. I love that word. Right? Who doesn't love that word? And these are just printed off the Word program. So I just type in a bunch of words and print them off and then cut them up into smaller segments so they're ready to add to something. Okay, we'll vintage it up a bit. Tone those colors down just a wee bit. All right, this will be the last thing, I promise. So I'm going to just do a hole here. Put this guy in, and this time I'm going to make sure the jump ring fits. So I'm going to go way closer to the edge here. Wrong hole punch. Don't need the big one. Put this guy in. Squeeze him in. All right, now my jump ring should fit. Have I lost everything? I think I did. I got that. Here it is. My tools. All right. Jump ring should fit now. Let's just make sure and it screw up again. There we go. She fits. And now I'll add my little charm and close it up. And I've done 2 little cards too, which are really fun to make. Stop these old playing cards. I'm sure it's nothing new to use tarot cards and playing cards, but I thought these were really cute, really fun. So you put that in a pocket and have this stick out the side. Even more different. So learn something from my mistake there, which is always fun. We never used the butterflies I took out. What a shocker. So there you go. That's today's video. I hope it gave you some ideas and inspiration, and use up your repertoire. You know, mass build a bunch of these. You can turn them into a little journal, little note cards, journaling cards, and using up scraps, using up digital kits, and using up your little bits and pieces of goodies, little jewelry pieces for accents. Using up your cookie sketches, which I hope you're doing with me, and adding in some ribbons for fun. More little doodles. One's got the dragonfly on it. I can add another one even down here if I wanted to. Just keeps going and going. Just a lot of fun. I hope you like that. I hope you come back and visit me again. Until we see each other again, take care, everyone. Bye.